Well, Dave, thanks very much for taking the time to talk with us today. How long have you been working here?
Oh, I've been working in the water industry for 28 years.
So you've probably seen a fair number of training programs come and go over the last 28 years?
Yeah, a fair number to say the least.
Okay, well, what'd you think of SafeStart?
SafeStart was different. It seemed to be that there was more buy-in. It wasn't so much the soup du jour. It was something that we actually had, we got some positive results from. So it's working really well.
How did people here take to SafeStart?
Initially people are skeptical because it seems so simple and it's common sense, and so a lot of people didn't have really high hopes for it. And then once we started getting into it and telling the stories and sharing the stories and filling each other out, it started gaining momentum. And before long, everybody couldn't wait for the next class. If we were a week late, they'd be complaining, "Hey man, when's the next SafeStart class?"
They were complaining about not getting safety training.
Yeah.
So how many times has that happened in your career?
Before SafeStart, never. And before I was the manager, I was a safety coordinator for a few years. So I'd been in safety for a while when SafeStart came along, and such a big difference.
Has it helped with the actual injury rate?
Well, across the entire department, we've had about a 40% decrease in injuries, and in my division alone, where there's over 700 employees, for instance, we've had about 19 injuries where an employee missed at least one day of work afterwards this year, and that's after SafeStart. And although that sounds like a lot, 19 is 19 too many. This time last year we had 31, and the year before that, this time we were already at 28. So we can see the difference, and we've also been able to go back and look at the data and see when SafeStart started, right? Who got the training first, what sites, and you could see like a wave, the injuries coming down in those places that finished SafeStart as we were going down the line. And we can verify that SafeStart is definitely, what made the difference because of that.
Well, did you like SafeStart?
I think SafeStart is excellent. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it, and it's fantastic.
Has it helped you off the job, or did you take it home to your family at all?
It's helped me on the job. It's helped me off the job. My kids, it helps my kids. I got 2 kids. I got a 17-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy. Daughter's learning how to drive, so I'm teaching her through SafeStart driving and letting her know how things can get worse, of what could happen to you while driving. And I said it's awesome. I love it. The kids love it. My boy tells me, SafeStart, hey Dad, that's a SafeStart situation. When he sees something that comes up, it's all through the house. The wife loves it, the whole family.
Really? You got the wife?
The
okay,
wife.
because that's not always the
It
easiest
took a
thing.
minute, but like we were driving together and she does something, I kind of break it down there. That could be a SafeStart situation. She could tell me how it could have been worse. So I said, I brought everything home. I think it's important to bring it home to the family.
The younger you get these things, the better off you are in life.
Yeah.
But it's helped, like I say, on the job, guys are sharing, everybody's being a little bit more vigilant, being more aware, not rushing, taking their time, keeping the mind on task. These things are ingrained in you when we go through the program. The SafeStart program, all of the programs, each stage, you think more and more about it. And then we talk about it once a week, in our safety meetings. Somebody shares a story once a week.
I know you had a motorcycle for a long time. You used to ride it, well, pretty quick there.
Aggressively,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So, would that have helped out, do you think?
Yeah, one of the incidents that comes to mind is me and some friends would ride every Sunday up in the local mountains. It was our getaway time, guys out time. And we would go through the canyons at a real high rate of speed. And we were in full race gear, full leathers, boots, Kevlar gloves, helmet. We knew that it was a good chance that we would slip and hit the asphalt, so we protected ourselves and had the right equipment. One instance, we rode up about an hour drive through the canyons, and it's very intense when you're riding that hard. We stopped for lunch. I had to get some gas. I stopped at a gas station, get off the bike and thought I put my kickstand down. Didn't. My bike started falling over. I grabbed it. It threw me into the gas pump, broke the glass on the gasoline pump, and ended up cost me an extra $20 for the little tank of gas that I bought.
So that's one for sure. Maybe that mine not on task might have helped with.
Oh, definitely. Mine not on task.
How long you been with the department?
Close to 34 years.
All right, 30. So you've seen a fair number of things probably come and go over the last 34 years.
It was worse back in the 80s.
Did you like SafeStart?
Love SafeStart. SafeStart is a common sense direction. You know, there's something about SafeStart. Take it into my trade. Electricity doesn't just jump out and get you.
Yeah, the electricity is actually pretty predictable.
I know where it's at. It's not jumping out and getting me.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say is complacency is what jumps out and gets you, not electricity. And that's it in a nutshell.
Would you recommend SafeStart to other companies?
Yes, it's definitely a good program. A lot of our safety records have changed because of it. It's lowered our safety incidents, accidents. It has worked for us.
Have you changed any habits since taking SafeStart?
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that. As cell phones became more and more popular, myself as well as other members of my family, we got used to maybe driving and using the cell phones. Now that
we all did at the beginning,
right?
Yeah.
So, but now that laws have been passed, it's kind of a habit that we have to break to keep more focused on what we're doing, be it driving or whatever else. So yeah, just putting the cell phone down. SafeStart kind of really made me aware of that. So now I just take a message, let that text wait, or if it's something urgent that I need, I'll pull over to the side of the road and take the call.
Would you recommend it to other workplaces?
I would recommend it to everybody. I mean, all the time. Just last weekend, SafeStart came through for me, in the garage. So I would recommend it to anybody I met, schools, churches, workplace, because it works everywhere. A lot of things we teach is for specific things at work. This is something you can take everywhere you go when you're traveling, and even when it's not an injury, how you deal with other people, right? Sometimes you self-trigger on your attitude, and it saves you some money or some time, right? So there's all kinds of benefits to SafeStart.